We are now live.
Just a second, Rabab. Yes, we are still waiting. I'll give you a confirmation. Just a second. Yeah, we are live now. You can start.
Okay. Again, thank you so everyone for joining. We are now starting our event. Welcome to our weekly Tuesday events by Product People. The event that our session on today is on cooking up career success in product management by Elif. It's going to be a really exciting session and really happy to have everyone here. Thank you so much for joining. Before we move on to speaker and get to know a little bit more about Elif, I'd love to introduce myself and also our company, that is Product People. So my name is Rabab Abbas, and I've been working in product management and business development strategy and early stage startups for a while now. I joined Product People as a product management consultant a few months ago, and it's been a really exciting journey ever since. About Product People, Product People is an incredible company where our mission is to help companies discover and deliver products faster. How we do that is by empowering our community of over 25,000 members in order to share knowledge generously. We also have over 40 in-house product managers who act as interim product managers. We onboard fast, align teams, and deliver outcomes. So there are a couple of questions that we would love to ask you and get to know more about our audience before we move on to our session. So I'm just going to read the questions out, and then please answer in the comments. Question number 1, what do product managers and chefs have in common? A, they both wear aprons to work. B, they both create something delightful from scratch. C, they both get to taste test their creations all day. Or D, if they both have secret recipes for success. I know what my answer is, but I'd love to hear what everyone else has to say as well. Question number 2 is that if you were to compare your product management journey to a dish, which one resonates the most? Is it a well-balanced stir fry or a complex layered cake, a hearty comfort food, or a spicy and adventurous curry? These are very exciting questions, and we're really excited to see what you have to answer. So I think we have some answers coming in. Let's just wait for a sec till we get more results. Okay, so for question number 1, what do product managers and chefs have in common? The highest response was that they both have secret recipes for success, and that is very true. I think every product manager has their own secret recipe for success, and very soon we're going to hear what Elif's secret recipe for success in product management is. Question number 2, if you were to compare your product management journey to a dish, which one resonates with you the most? 44% of you said a complex layered cake. I think that actually makes a lot of sense, and that was also my answer. So I think we all think alike. Thank you so much for your answers. I think we can now move on to our speaker, who is Elif, who is a product management consultant at Product People. And now she is going to talk a bit about her product management journey and what makes her so successful.
Thanks, Rabab, and thanks everyone for the answers. I'm going to share my screen. Yes. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming to spending your time with our presentation today. So, have you ever wondered how to become a product manager, but you got some vague answers from the people? I was like this, and I'm going to share how I pushed through this wall and became a fully fledged product manager with some practical steps that I took and helped me in this journey. Before getting into that, maybe I can quickly introduce myself. I am Elif. I'm a product management consultant at Product People. I've been working with Product People for 1.5 years, and I started my career in digital marketing. Then I got interested in digital products, and I became a developer, but I realized that I'm more into the business side, product management side, so I thought product management could be a better fit for me. And I'm here. I've been working with product people, and I had a chance to work with great companies such as WHO, Small PDF, Blinkist. And I love this journey, so I'm happy that I'm going to share how I entered product management and how it's going for me. So it all started with hunger for knowledge. I was curious, and I'm usually a curious person. So I was very interested in digital products like applications and like tablets, even though they are not actually digital. So I was interested in digital products, and I was curious about what are how are these products built. And I decided to become a developer to understand this kitchen of these products. But when I became a developer, I started to wonder that who are making these decisions to make these products? Where are these ideas coming from? How are they deciding which feature to build, what to release? And I heard product management. And I got interested in what does product managers do. So I checked several resources. I got prepared for product management before I landed my first job. So I read some books. Probably you might have heard Marty Kagan, inspired by Marty Kagan. They're also Empowered and Transformed, if I'm not mistaken. So I've read those books, and there are several others as well. I started to listen to podcasts about product management, like from Product School, from Melissa Perry, from Lenny, and they helped me to start building the product management concept in my mind. And I was watching some YouTube videos to get inspiration, and those videos are from a day in the life of a product manager to the interviews with the product managers at Meta and YouTube. So these helped me to understand what's going on in product management. What are these people doing day to day, and what are their challenges on a daily basis? So I had started to set up the foundation for product management. And I also found some mentors for myself, experienced product managers. I asked them to share their experiences with me. They also shared some book recommendations with me. I also did some mock interviews with them. So I understand what are the expectations and what are the skills that I'm lacking. And I was also brave enough to apply for some jobs from the beginning, because I wanted to understand what are required in the market, what are the necessities in the market. So I applied for jobs, even though I haven't heard anything from anyone at the beginning. Then I started to get some interviews while I'm improving my skills or learning more about product management and improving my CV. And I will I will walk you through this journey as well. So the next step was to steering the product mindset for myself. I started reviewing some products that I love. For example, I was a fan of Evernote, and I was checking Evernote. What are the features that I would like to remove? What are the features? How would I improve this application? And how would I add something? What would I add? And what would be the decision process to add certain things? And there's also Product Hunt. It's like a marketplace for people, for developers, for product managers to launch their product, actually. And I also reviewed some interesting products on Product Hunts. So I saw, I had an understanding of what are the products from the user feedback and from the developer and from a business owner perspective as well. So during this journey, during the preparation, what helped me the most was to try to build my own product idea. Actually, I found a problem from my daily life, and I started to discuss about it with my friends who have the similar problems. And I did some research. I checked the competitors, or I checked if there's an existing solution in the market. And I started brainstorming some solutions with my friends as well, based on what I gathered from people, what are the main problems and how we can solve this. And I even built this Lean canvas, business model canvas, and I did SWOT analysis, and I did like some product management stuff to understand, to see the big picture. So this helped me actually a lot to gain product perspective and see the big pictures of the product. Even though I didn't build the application, I even made some mock-ups, and I prepared the basis of the product. And this helped me to understand, to see the gaps in my skill and improve myself, and this helped me to understand what's going on in this process as well. Then I landed my first product management job as an associate product manager at Product People, so it's an entry level. So what helped me at the beginning was that I was able to shadow an experienced product manager. So we have this product trio system at Product People. There's a product manager since we are consultancy, we are having missions with the client. So there's a point of contact product manager, but there's also a buddy who's a junior PM supporting this product manager. And there's also a supervisor who is supervising the mission and helping us to overcome some challenges, big challenges we have during the mission. So during this experience, I got a chance to shadow some tasks from the previous experienced product manager in my team, and I learned how to write requirements. I learned how to create a user flow. So these kind of things, I sent these things to the experienced product managers, and they review them. They deliver feedback. So it was very helpful for me to gain hands-on experience. I think this can be applied to other organizations as well. You don't have to have this trio system, but I heard this from one of the YouTube channels, that you can reach out to experienced product managers and you can ask them to shadow their tasks, so you can see what's going on in product management, even though you're not in the role. Also, with this product trio system, we have 4 main stages for junior product managers' growth. So first, the experienced product manager gives some tasks to the junior product manager, and they prepare, the junior one prepares the tasks and the deliverables, and the product manager reviews them, gives feedback, and the junior PM improves. So this is step 1. And next step, the product manager gives their tasks, but they don't give feedback. The junior product manager delivers this to the client, directly to the client, which means that it's going to be more challenged because you're going to get feedback from the client, which is important for the company's reputation and your reputation. But if you overcome this challenge, there's another next step. As a junior product manager, you create your tasks and you start to act semi-independently. You run your tasks while aligning with your product manager. And as a last step, you share some tasks with the product manager and you divide and conquer the mission. So this can also be, so we have this system, it worked well for my growth, and it works well for the product managers in our company as well. But I think this can also be applied to other organizations as well. You can learn from experienced product managers by asking them to review your deliverables, and you run your own things, and you can also get some tasks on your own, and you can get feedback and improve continuously. So based on my experience, there are certain things that helped me to become on my journey to become a master chef from a sous chef. So first of all, it's important to embrace challenges, seek out opportunities wherever you can stretch your skills and push your boundaries, because then you get out of your comfort zone and you see how you can improve and which skills you can improve during the way and when you embrace those challenges. Internal initiatives can be your playground. So for me, it was like, for example, I felt like I was lacking data analytics side, but at Product People, we have a website and we don't have a data analytics setup for that. So I volunteered to help with data analytics, and I set up the dashboards, I checked the data, I talked to the developers to implement some events. So this helped me to improve my data analysis skills and I was not doing this on a day-to-day basis because we have client priorities, but this internal initiative helped me to improve my muscles on the side. So in turn, you can look for opportunities. Maybe it can be also a side job or side thing that you want to do. And these can be very helpful to improve your skills as a product manager as well. Of course, we will do a lot of mistakes whatever level you are at, there will be a lot of mistakes that are happening, and you will learn from those feedback. And what I learned during my journey is that never take these mistakes personally, and always look for opportunities to grow and stretch your skills. Because in that sense, that you get a chance to grow. Actually, you don't have to just stay in a grief and just do nothing, and you move forward when you accept things. And collaboration across the teams also helped me. So I will give you an example. For example, I was working with a designer, and we did heuristic evaluation of an application. So heuristic evaluation is like evaluating UX and UI of the applications, how they see the users, and how they create some designs based on the feedback or based on the user's eye. So even though maybe I will not do this again, or I will not design something, I learned this from a couple of hours I spent with the designer, that how I can see the user experience from the user's eyes in a better way. So this helped me to improve my skill there, and it improved my UX eye, actually. And also, curiosity is actually a very common default snack for product managers. We should always ask for why, what, and how are things going, and we should be able to find those answers. So if you're not asking questions, or if you don't ask any question on a day, just question yourself what's going on, then find questions and find answers. And we are living in a digital era, so it's important to adapt all of these changes that's happening in the especially digital environment. So it helps you to keep up with the trends. Last but not least, the most important thing to grow and step up is that we should always think from the master chef's perspective. This can be a senior product manager. When you're making a decision, think about what would a senior product manager do in this case, or what would a head of product do in this case, or even what would CEO, how would CEO make a decision? Because then when you take a step back and when you look at the things from their perspective, you see their perspective and you see the bigger picture from their eyes. So this helps you to see your future and see the things from the future to your product or to the company that you're working on. This makes things more valuable, and this also helps you to grow faster if you keep this in mind and keep this as in practice. So of course, product management is about iteration, so it's important to continue to learning. It's not a thing that you learn and you do, it's the thing that you need to keep learning, keep growing, and enjoying the process. So now, I would like to ask you, what about you? If anyone from the audience would like to share your journey, how was the process for you? What are the things that helped you to grow? And are there any people who influenced you or mentors that you found? So I would like to hear from you. What are your experiences? I just shared my journey, and if any one of you want to share some of yours, I would like to hear that. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So I think I can keep this for a while, maybe.
Yeah, I think everyone, thank you so much for that talk, Elif. I think it was really, really insightful. While people are asking more questions and thinking about these answers, I think I'll share my screen and we can go over some details. Give me a sec. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you everyone for listening with us along the ride. Thank you so much, Elif, for sharing your journey. I think it was really exciting for me to hear, and it's a learning that every company and every professional can take in order to progress further in product management. For the rest of the audience, please continue to share your questions with us. We will be, from whichever platform you're coming from, we will be sharing them and asking them from Elif to understand more about her journey. And while we're listening, sending in your questions, we would love to dive a bit more into product people and some more use cases about when to engage us. So firstly, of course, as an interim or fractional product manager or product leader, in case of a permanent position cover when you're hiring around 3 to 9 months, or parental leave cover, or if you have a very important or urgent initiative to drive product discovery or to meet a deadline, that creates a very big impact and your current product team does not have the capacity to do so. Secondly, as a product coach or consultant, we have incredibly experienced people on our team who can really coach your product management team and set them up for success by driving up their skills and set their own personal development and growth plans. We are also great at structure and systems, so our product coaches can definitely help create and streamline processes and programs for your company from 0 to 1 in hyper growth or even at scale. And lastly, and very importantly, product discovery, that we can definitely help discover the next impactful initiative or the product, whether it relates to market and user research in order to our business goal. And even run a low code or no code MVP, where we're with the team from the product discovery to ideation. We help the team align and we run and kick off the next iteration. So if you have any questions for us, please feel free to ask as well. There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to product management and a product management consultancy. But like all great PMs and like all great PMs like Elif, we define and limit our scope. So we're primarily an agency that specializes in interim product management. We serve clients via our in-house employees. We're not recruiters, we're not a freelance marketplace, and we're definitely not a development or design agency. We're purely an agency that specializes in interim product management. And we love to talk about product management, and we love doing product management. So we've had really exciting B2C clients in the past that I'm sure everyone's heard of, such as Zalando, 2Plus, FreeNow, Scott24, Backmarket, Blinkist, and a lot more as well. We also have quite exciting B2B clients, such as the World Health Organization, Sastrify, Cognify, Pliant, Utopia, Remote, Eterno, and Aria Health. We've had incredible clients to work in the past, and it's been a great learning experience from all of us. We've also had great feedback from our clients related to our very quick onboarding, understanding the client situation in a very short amount of time and helping them solve their problems. And one of the most exciting things for me personally, and I think generally for women in the ecosystem, is that so we have around 60% of women in our team and 66% leadership, which is truly landmark. We have over 40 product managers and product leaders in our team, and we support over 200 cross-functional teams from over 70 clients that range from Series A startups to public listed companies. And we have this group of very incredibly diverse and exciting individuals from all over the world, and they truly make a difference in the product management community every day. While we're talking about product people, we're also currently hiring an associate product management consultant. So if you or anyone you know is looking for an opportunity such as this, please feel free to ask questions or apply in the link that's given here. You can check out more details on our careers page on our website as well. Thank you everyone for listening. I think we can move on to the questions now. I'm sure everyone has sent in a bunch of questions.
I think, Rabab, there are some of the questions in chat. If someone would like to ask them directly to Elif, that's also fine.
Okay, are there any volunteers who would like to ask right now? I think it'd be great to have a direct interaction with her. Yes, Stacey.
Perfect. Elif, thank you so much for the talk. Really insightful. My question is, how can you identify or approach a potential mentor, right? Or someone that can train you, whether in your existing company or even outside?
Great question. Thank you, Stacey. First, I love this working on my personal development and working on these kind of productivity things. So first I defined what kind of a person that I wanted to be. And I'm always inspired by people who achieved success and who did something by doing their best. And so I defined what's the best in my definition and what kind of a person I would like to be. And then I defined some companies that I want to work with, and I reach out to some people on LinkedIn. And I was using an application called Shepherd to network with people as well. And I put my interests there, and I met one of my mentors on Shepherd. She was also a product manager, and I reached out to her. Oh, I saw you're doing product management. What are you doing? And can you share some tips with me? And then after our first talk, I asked them if they want to continue doing these mentorship sessions for a while. And with some of them, we built friendship as well. So this was very helpful for me. And some of them were not available. They didn't have that time, but I also learned a lot from their insights in our first talks. Hope this answers your question.
Thank you for that question, Stacey. Do we have any other questions that someone would like to ask on the call?
Yeah, I have a question. So this whole presentation has been really informative, especially as someone who's just started out in product management like me. But I just wanted to ask if you had one overarching piece of advice for an early in career product manager, what would it be?
I would say start to steer the product mindset as early as possible, because I think the important thing in product management is to have that mindset. And the earlier you build that mindset, build a foundation for that, the better or the faster you grow. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mia. I think we have another question from Philip. Please go next.
Thanks, Elif. I think it's really cool that you actually practically share with us what you went through and what you did. I just wanted to ask, is there something that you can share that was the most surprising for you that you experienced on your way to being a PM? Something that people who are trying to get into a role as a PM, they don't expect on their road to get there, that was quite surprising for you?
Surprising. I think I didn't know that product managers need to handle a lot of things at the same time. And when I started doing the job, I understand that they are handling many things at the same time. And this was a challenge when I figured out that at the beginning. But then I realized that there are certain skills that you can do and you can grow. So you can also be able to handle those things, and you can prioritize things, and you can handle the past, the present, and the future of the product, actually.
Thank you for that answer, Elif. We have a couple of questions from LinkedIn and from Zoom as well. I'm just going to read them out. So from LinkedIn, we have a question from Ulena. How did you find a mentor, and how often did you come together with them? I know that you did mention this a bit, but if you'd like to talk a bit more detail, that'd be great.
Yeah, as I said, I thought about what kind of person that I want to be, and then I created some kind, let's say, persona, and I reached out to those people on LinkedIn, like the closest people I could find on LinkedIn, and sometimes I checked the company profiles, checked their product managers, and I also used that Shepherd application which I was using for networking in general, and I found out that there are product managers. And also I was joining a lot of events and to learn about product management, and so I reached out to product managers that I like the vision of them on LinkedIn as well. Then we started to build a relationship, and we became like with some of them I started talking on a monthly basis. We scheduled some calls with some of them. As I said, we just did the first call, and I got what I needed, and based on their availability, we just adjusted, arranged some more calls, but we still continue our relationship as a mentor-mentee, and I still learn from them.
That sounds like a great process, Elif, and I'm really happy it worked out for you. We have a couple of questions on Zoom as well. So Steph asks us a question: which book or podcast or YouTube channel was your favorite, and do you think was the most helpful? Will you be able to share this list with us?
Yeah, if you write me on LinkedIn, I will probably share the whole list, but I read Inspired by Marty Hagen first, and this is like this gave me the general understanding of what product management is, what are the product teams doing. So this was very helpful. And there are also other things. Let me think. Yeah, there's also Continuous Discovery Habit by Teresa Torres. When I learned about Opportunity Solution Tree and the product discovery, I read this. This was very helpful for me. And there are also some things that I read and I really like, but I could not remember the names, all of them right now. But if people reach out to me, I will be happy to share the list with them. And the podcasts, actually, I love Lenny's podcast. And it's been very helpful for me. And we also have Product People's podcast right now. And I also love listening to Melissa Perry's experience in the podcast. So these are the things that came to my mind at this moment.
That's great. Thank you so much. We're also what we'll do is we'll add all the links to Elif's favorite resources to the YouTube video description so that everyone has access to them. So we have one question from YouTube. As a product manager, how do you approach balancing short-term goals with long-term vision and strategy?
Great question. That's always a challenge, I think. So you should be able to, you should be aware of what are the long-term goals of the company first, and then you should set your product goals based on the company's goals. And after you define this, you have a goal for your product, and you have a goal that can that can contribute to business goal as well. Then you look at the user feedback or the things that you need to improve continuously, and you look at the data. That's what I said, and why I said I was surprised, because you have to manage the past, the present, and the future. So I think you also always have to keep in mind the goals you have, the goals the company has, the goals you have, and on your short-term goals, you need to align these things with those long-term goals. So you can always work towards your vision. Even though it's a quick bug fix, or even though it's a small feature improvement, you should always think and prioritize, not the waste effort and time of the team. You should always prioritize based on how it's going to contribute to business, how it's going to add value to the user, and if it's going to take a lot of time to implement. So there are certain prioritization skills, but you always need to keep in mind the vision of the product. Then it helps you to decide, and it helps you to shape your short-term actions.
Great answer, Elif. I think I'm going to be using some of these points myself as well whenever I do need. We have another question from LinkedIn. That is, many aspiring product managers are curious about transitioning into this field. What advice would you give to those looking to break into product management?
I think first they need to understand what our product managers do, from the books, from the YouTube, from podcasts or certain resources. They can learn a lot of things about this, but the most important thing is to gain hands-on experience. So I also finished the course on LinkedIn Learning, I think. So they also said that if you want to apply for a job as a product manager, reach out to the company that you want to work with and review their products. I see this, you have been working on this. I see your vision is this. So you can work on these features, or you can do these things to improve your product. I think this will be very beneficial. So I found this advice very helpful. I didn't do that, but I decided to work on my own product idea, for example, even though I didn't have this ambition to build something and just release it and go forward with it. I wanted to see what's happening as a product manager, and how the product manager thinks, that product mindset that I mentioned earlier. So I think experiencing product management on hands-on will be very helpful at the early stages. And you can also do this by reviewing the products that you already love and use. So you can think about, if when they release a feature, you can think about why did they do that, and what might be the problems that they're solving. These kind of things really helps to start and grow in the role.
I think that's great advice, Elif. We'll just take one last question from a couple more questions. we have one question from YouTube that is, in your opinion, what's the most exciting trend or innovation currently shaping the future of product management?
Most exciting innovation. ChatGPT. I think it helps me. So at product management, sometimes the documentation takes a lot of time. And sometimes I'm using ChatGPT mostly to brainstorm with myself and with the ChatGPT. So it's been very helpful for me. And I think some road mapping frameworks that have been released, they're also very helpful to see, actually to connect these long-term goals with the short-term goals. So these are the things that I can mention. I don't want to say AI because it's like everybody is mentioning AI, but I wanted to mention it in a way that helped me with ChatGPT, for example.
Yeah, no, I think ChatGPT is making everyone's life much easier. There's this really nice question from Jim from the Zoom chat that is around transitioning to product management. His question is, did your resume or CV change quite a lot in your last search for your first PM role since starting? Can you help me with maybe one main tip to include and one main thing to exclude in my resume from what you have learned?
Great question. I changed my CV and cover letter a lot during my preparation for the role. And I did this, for example, if I joined an internal initiative at my company while I was working in another role, I added this from a product management perspective. What did I do there? For example, I joined a research and I gave feedback, I analyzed, I checked, reviewed some application that they want to launch internally. I reviewed and I gave feedback, and I also observed how they took this feedback and what are the next steps that they were planning. So I added this to my CV, for example. Also, I think adding your CV, if you made a contribution to the project that you worked on, if you don't have a background in product management, but if you have some skills, transferable skills from your previous experiences, you can add how did you contribute to the project that you worked on, to the role, in the role that you worked on, how did you contribute to the things that will help you when you become a product manager. So if I, as a developer, for example, I was a robotic process automation developer. So we were improving, we were digitalizing some processes, and we were saving costs for the teams and time for the teams. So I put them, and this also increased the reviews in my CV. And also I talked about how my previous experiences related to my vision in product management. This also helped me to get more reviews on my CV and get some interviews with the companies. It's not one main thing, but yeah, these are the things that helped me the most.
I think that was really helpful advice. We have one last question, which is, I think, a really important question to ask. What was the biggest difference between being an associate product manager and being a product manager? Anything you wish you knew earlier?
I think connecting the dots and seeing the product from the future is very important when you become a more experienced product manager. So when I was in associate product manager role, I was more in a supporting role, and I was doing certain things that are continuously iterating. But then what helped me to become a product manager was when I start to see the things from the future perspective. So as I said, when I started to see, okay, what's going to happen next? So we are doing this feature, we are fixing this bug, we are improving this, and what's going to happen next? What can we learn from the people, users, and what can we improve? So when I see things from the company's vision and the product's vision, it helped me to become a more, see the things from a more senior level. And I wish I could do that earlier, because it would have helped me to grow faster.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, Elif. And now we are going to end the questions, but thank you so much, Elif, for the insightful session. I think I've learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure the entire audience has learned a lot as well. To the audience, thank you so much for joining our session. It has been Great interacting with everyone, answering your questions. Please do join us again next week. Please keep following our socials to stay updated with the next product speaker. Check our podcast and do chat with us as well. Please make sure to follow our socials. Share the link with people who would find this helpful. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, everyone.